Okay, during the film you may have picked up this bit of ugliness here, which after much horsing around and really a lot of wasted time, I've managed to solve. There's just a whole bunch of different things going on, all for struggle to preserve all the space, and the solution was really quite simple, with no changes anywhere except down through here. So what it came down to is that when I located this column, I flushed the east side of it with the east side of this wall, and there's really no magic, no necessity for that. As I said, it could be anywhere in here, but I had wanted to push it away from the chairs, but it's really not just a matter of 5 inches, and so I've changed this from this to this with no real so we don't have that piece of countertop going in under there anymore. Yes, the cost comes out of this here and the width of this here, which I think in this case is a good, probably in both cases is a good solution. So there it is. Yes, there's the walls under, and I had flushed this side with this, and so I just moved it to be that way instead. And the advantage, of course, is that we don't have to have the shallow depth cabinet here anymore, and so just change these numbers a little bit. These can be divided up in any way you like. I did not, because I do work down the line in this film and in this for this part of the design, I did not change anything with the soffitting. I mean, this is an existing line here of soffit, and these are beam lines here, so those wouldn't have changed. The only thing that might have changed is this, and even now I know that that's not going to be the case. It could, if you like, you know, with this moving back another 5 inches, if you wanted to pick up 6 on this, then everything could, this whole bank could push this way. You'd lose 6 at this area. Maybe you could pick up a little bit more of that here, but that's that. And so now we don't have that ugliness, and this is the result, with the only real change being on this side of the countertop where that support column comes down through. And you can see it's not really in the knee space anyway. So that is that part of the boring film, or the boring part of the film. So going forward in the rest of this film, the various parts where we talk about some other things in the kitchen, just ignore this ugliness and know that that has been solved and to a good result as well. Next though, I know that you like light. It's been mentioned that you would have more windows if you could. So and particularly in the way this is setting up, we probably lost a little bit of window light in the kitchen to start with. But we have the advantage of this nice north-facing facade, which is always a great location for some skylights. And I've just put together one possible permutation of how these could be accomplished. I wanted to use 3, and there's only so many lengths available in 3, and this is what I've come up with, at least to see from the ground. And so one of the things with putting this in here is a case of how do we light the task area here. We're fine lighting this end of the countertop and this end, but how to light this, and really that can be done in a variety of ways. Pendant fixtures from these necessary beams up here, or lower beams that come through with pendant fixtures, track lighting, against any number of ways that you could light this and pick up the advantage of that nice northern light exposure, which will make it seem like it's daylight all day. Well, it will be, but so I think that was about it on the skylights. Just a couple different views. This was probably the largest opening at the ceiling level, and that was really just so large because these skylights, these slender skylights, so that I could have triple instead of 2, are only available in a couple lengths. And it doesn't reflect how much light that would bring into the place in this. This is not really an accurate representation, but it would be like night and day, really. So hopefully you'll use those, or some permutation of those.